Who would have thought the biggest tragedy of season 7 wouldn't have been the revelation that Gemma killed Tara, but in fact that Quinn and Montez had a pull-out table with a chessboard on it. Welcome back to Fog Entertainment. It's Suits of Woe, season 7, episode 11. Why, in the name of Christ, has Quintez, that great wee combo, that great duo team, why have they got a table with a chessboard on it? That is the hard-hitting questions we need to know and need to know right now.
Well, it was a makeshift table, I guess. It's either that or they don't get a seat. So,
would it not have been better for these two, right, to just sit with nothing in front of them? Would Clay,
Stand.
right? Would Clay or Piney really sit at the end of the chessboard?
Probably not.
Like the middle of the chessboard. I know there's bigger fish to fry in this great episode, but that needed addressed, alright? Because, I mean, we're talking about a former Nomad president. We're talking about a guy that goes on to become road captain of the Suns. Alright, yeah, jobbed out by El Palo, but is this no the kind of table that's for, like, Phil Lynn and Filthy Phil?
Chucky?
No, West. Aye, Chucky. Aye, if Chucky wants to be fucked. See when Unser used to sit at the table? This is Unser's spot. Unser and Phil Lynn. Jobber fucking...
Put your goddamn hand down.
Put your goddamn hand down, boy. Anyway, episode begins. Jax is currently depressed. He doesn't know what to do. Abel's told him that Gemma's killed Tara, pretty much, but he needs the truth. And then when he goes out for some coffee at the kitchen table, Wendy's like, well, you know what, you told me the truth last night, I'll tell you this truth. I've been helping Juice, and not only have I been helping Juice, Gemma was the one that put it in motion. And Unser also knows. Jax kind of sweeps under the carpet, don't tell anyone that I know, but it wasn't your fault, it's Gemma's fault. So he then raps at the door, a big Unser, put some pants on. We then cut down, they're sitting down, and essentially... Jax lays it on thick, says, I've confronted Wendy now, it's weird. In the actual Disney version of this, they've cut something out, right? Because Unser's like, who told you? And then it just cuts to Jax saying, she said that you and Gemma were helping Juice. And it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Who? She? How would Unser know? They've definitely cut it out, because I remember watching this like when it aired, and I remember Jax saying it was Wendy. It wasn't like this big groundbreaking scene, right, that needs to be definitely included, but it is weird that they've took it out.
Yeah, I wonder why Disney would feel the need to delete that.
Yeah, because I definitely remember it when I first watched it, and obviously it's been on Disney for like a good couple of years. I'm assuming it was on Netflix, but you're right. Why have Disney took it out? It's not like there's something in there that would have been like groundbreaking for them to take it, you know, that would break some code of conduct. It was simply just Jack saying, well, I told Abel about Wendy, and Wendy then gave me this truth this morning, sort of thing. So yeah, weird, but it's pretty much Jax wants to sit down with Juice. Unser's like, why should I do that? All your club does is lie to me. The guy who's all I did that killed Tara wasn't even in the state. He was in a Vegas drunk tank. Jax can't believe it. He's like, well, you know what? Let's double down. I need that meet with Juice. Unser finally agrees to it. Cameras will be on. Just not for long, brother. Unser says, if you burn me on this, Jackson, no more loyalty for you or your club or your family. Unser,
I actually believe Jax when he says the cameras can be on. I thought Jax just wanted the truth.
Yeah, it's you know what though.
I don't blame Unser for getting upset. After
I don't blame Unser. Well,
if it's for Tara and it's just about getting the truth, then surely that should be the main thing. Jack shouldn't be giving a shit.
No, let's be honest though,
Jack
right?
shouldn't be caring about any other stuff that could be said that could get somebody in trouble, or you know.
All it gets in trouble though. I mean, who's it really getting in trouble?
The person that's responsible for killing Tara,
which is Gemma. But we see later on in the finale, he basically reveals everything to Patterson. So again, why wouldn't they want the cameras on? I mean, Juice is admitting to killing Eli. Juice didn't know the cameras were off though. Again, he did Unser dirty here, I agree. Unser can feel definitely hard done by, but we'll revisit that conversation a wee bit later on. We then cut to Chibs and Tig. They arrive at TM. Jax tells him to reach out to Leland, or not Leland, the other guy whose name's... what's the guy who's now in charge?
The guy that replaced Leland.
Whatever his fucking name is, you know, redneck number one. He gets told, right, let's turn off the cameras, reach out to Tully. Get the cameras off in that room and you sit down with Juice. What do you mean, brother? I thought everything with Juice is set in motion sort of thing. Jax is like, no, it's a family thing. I'll let you know at the end of the day. Chibs keeps pressing about this and Jax confronts him later on. But when cut to Stockton, Juice is taken to a boiler room. He's told if it gets messy, there is a change of clothes sitting up there. He looks, change of clothes, and we go in. And Henry Lynn
Just
is
hanging
left
like a piece of meat in a butcher shop or something. You know,
double one, snookered.
you know, not a lot you can do. You're hanging like this at hands.
I mean,
occupied.
his legs were free. I mean, he could have did some weird Steven Seagal move on Juice, I guess.
I mean, he could have, but then what? He's still gonna be stuck up there, isn't he? Like, and then the next guy will just come in and probably kill him. So it's like not good.
What can he do?
How did Lynn get up there? That's what I want to know.
Was it the guards? Was it the AB? Not too sure. Maybe it was a mixture of both. Who knows? But essentially here, they sent the rat to flush out the rat. So Juice whips out the iPhone, sets it down, record time. He's like, who sold out the Suns to the Chinese? Was it Jury White? Lynn's like, why the hell should I tell you what's going to happen with this information? Just like, I'll go back to the club and they'll deal with the trader accordingly. And at this point, there's no actual 100% proof, right, that Borowski gave up the Suns. You could argue, well, would Lynn rather cause... What would he rather do? Would he rather give up Borowski, or would he rather cause like an internal beef within the Suns? Or would he just rather say the truth because he thinks that's the best case scenario to get this situation?
Truth, but I mean, I don't see why he would lie. I mean, if it was Judy, then he would try and fuck over the Suns, wouldn't he? He would want to cause internal beef, so I believe Lynn. If he says it's Borowski, it's Borowski.
I believe Lynn. Just believed Lynn. The recording gets turned off, and then Henry Lynn kind of like rustles the chains, like, big juicy boy. He's going to get me down, the Puerto Rican, the magic. And then shiv to the throat. You lying piece of shit. And then, I'm a rat. What makes you think I'd tell the truth? And Henry Lynn, a guy that's been around since the early days of season 1, taken out with a shiv to the throat numerous times. And it's the end of the Henry Lynn character. What do you make of it? I liked Lynn.
Yeah, no, like Lynn
just caught in a fucking shite lie.
Would have been better if he featured more, like, but it is what it is. Pretty good. Pretty good antagonist. Even though he wasn't that bad of a guy, but I guess because he's a rival of the Suns, he's going to be an antagonist.
And what you got?
Certainly was in season 7. Like.
And but if you look at season 7, it's like, see if you actually think of it. The Suns killed his uncle and his men. The Chinese didn't even retaliate. But obviously the Suns think he killed Tara. And then the Suns, what do? They wipe out a lot of his men and his contacts. Of course he's going to take that bad. Of course he's going to react with Diosa and throwing a grenade through a window and, killing West. We can pretend that the Chinese are bad guys, but they're really not.
No, it's retaliation. Everyone does it.
Yeah, everyone does do it at the end of the day. We then cut to Red, Woody, Jax. Then basically he tells the club that it's not looking good. And then we've seen that scene with Chibs and Tig. They come in and you've got the rest of Sam Crow sitting there. You've got Happy, Ratboy, Quintez. We're just going to refer to them as Quintez from now on, no longer Montez and Quinn. And they basically discuss what's going to happen to Jax if this, rat situation doesn't go according to plan. It's like, mayhem. It's a member killing another member. Chibs, who's got a cigarette in his mouth and a bottle of whiskey, is like, we know. And then he just fucks off. And it's like, why is Happy not with Tig and Chibs? I think this episode was more about pushing Tig and Chibs, like the VP and Prez. But Happy's definitely more a part of those two as we circle than he is the other three.
Yeah, you can see the direction this club's going.
Aye, but I don't agree with Happy sitting with those three.
I don't, but it does feel like Chibs and Tig are running around. They know the important stuff, and all the guys are just hanging there. Taking up space. Literally,
Jackson arrives at Stockton. Obviously, the camera's been pulled from the room. He meets with Tully. Tully informs him that Lynn get put down this morning. Jax is obviously a bit distraught at this. Tully's like, well, that's what you wanted, isn't it? And Jax is like, yeah. It's kind of that Steve Bruce meme. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But anyway, Tully's like, oh, I'll keep that little Puerto Rican close. Don't you worry. And then he leaves. Juice comes in. Tully's like, oh, I'll see you later, sugar. Juice really getting the hard end of the stick here. And then he comes in, and you think, Juice's eyes light up here. He thinks he's getting back into the club, that one-way ticket, the golden ticket to wear that patch again. And then Jax just turns his world upside down, and he's on the buffet menu for the rest of his prison life.
Pretty much. And, he told Jax the truth, but, at the end of the day, Juice is the one that made up this lies. He's the one that started this whole war against the Chinese and essentially got Bobby killed, so it was never going to end well for Juice. I know he didn't intentionally mean to do any of it, but his actions caused everything to spiral out of control.
Juice is obviously partly guilty, but at the end of the day, it's Gemma that killed Tara and then just covered it up to try and help her. But here, no, not no matter what I can say and you can say can really justify this scene. You kind of just need to go watch it. For me, it's one of the scenes of the show. Charlie Hunnam pouring his heart out, and so was apparently, right. Charlie Hunnam said they filmed this once, and he said it was like perfect, but the cameras weren't rolling. They had to do it again. Well, I tell you what, like I don't know what the perfect cut would have been, because I thought this was near enough perfect.
Yeah, I know, it was good. So I mean, maybe Charlie Hunnam's just perfect, and he can do everything.
Maybe Charlie Hunnam's just fucking kissing his own ass. But he tells Juice that I'll make sure it's quick. So at this point, it's game over for Juice. What can you really see at this point? Juice knows he's done, but I guess he could make a deal with Jarry and Unser, or would that be pish for Juice? So you just accept the L and...
Aye, I can just accept it and move on.
He needs to just accept it and move on. He also tells Jax that it was Borowski that was the rat, and that's not going to end too well, my guys. We then cut to Jarry and Unser. They come in and interview Juice. Juice is like, trust me, all I'm in here is someone's asshole, which is a pretty good line for Juice. And then he feels like, Gemma knows every lie and every secret. She's the gatekeeper. We're all screwed. We're all going to die and all that stuff. So, yeah, Juice isn't willing to make a deal, but he basically says that everybody's going to die. And you know what? That's not really far off the truth, if we're being honest about it. Jackson obviously gets out. He tells the club about Borowski. They're like, lying son of a bitch. Jax is like, yeah, that's going to complicate things when they announce, brother. And then they go to the Crooked Donut shop, and as Jax is there, he rings Nero. Nero's not really done a lot this episode, but as he rings Nero, he's with Gemma, who told him, I was born in that house. But Nero's arse, just like Juice's arse, got turned upside down here. Thankfully for him, he's not getting pounded by Tully, but I tell you what, he got pounded by Jax over the phone.
It was a verbal beatdown on on Nero's ass. Couldn't handle it. Jax reveals that Gemma killed Tara. Aye.
Without it even being said though, Jimmy Smith's acting here I thought was very good. And after he ends the phone call and his horse just collapses, doesn't it? He does that like emotional jiggle where like you can't control your body, like your wee shiver you get. And he's like, is it true?
Is it true, Gemma?
And he's like, yes. And he's like, leave. And then he sits down, and you said that when we watched it, it looked like he shat himself.
It looked like the arse had just fallen out of his pants.
Great acting. I'm telling you, man, across the board. Everyone who found out here did a good job. I don't think anybody did a bad job. Now, maybe we could argue later on in the episode when a certain Quintez found out at the chess table, there's no matter how good a reaction they could have put on. Your scenery let them down on that point, but Jax, there's an APB out for him, because of course, what happened? He goes to Unser, he's like, you know what, I need Gemma and I need her now. He's like, did you not hear a little conversation earlier, son?
I'm more helping the club, the family.
He's like, it's about Tara. If you gave a shit about Tara, you'd be spending more time being a dad and a little less time being a fuck. You watch your mouth, old man. Or maybe I should go along to my trailer and stand in my kitchen and wait for someone to stick a fork in my head.
Bang, punch, knock, out. Well, I mean, Unser took it pretty well, to be fair.
He did. It was hook, line and sinker. For the first time in his fucking puff, Unser knew what he was doing here.
Alright, he was baiting Jax into that punch.
It's like, go into my trailer and stand in the kitchen. It's a shite existence this guy's got.
I didn't even know his trailer had a kitchen.
Like a sink and a fridge. Is that much of a kitchen? I would just argue that a trailer's a trailer.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? It's I wouldn't turn it in like does Unser claiming his bed's a living room? Is the west side of the trailer the west wing, as we know here all too well? But he gets punched here, Unser, then he puts it an APB on Jax. They go to Borowski's. Chibs presses Jax. What the hell's going on, brother? It's a family thing, and I'm not going to tell you again, Jackson. And then what happens? The cops turn up. Bang, bang, good night. We then get the jazz music. Now, you actually forgot this scene was in it. Well, the music.
It's just a wee weird.
It was like a Pro Evolution Soccer 5 tune, wasn't it?
That's something
weird.
Like that.
I
just didn't expect to be in Sons.
Adriano booting a ball about. But yeah, Jax is booting a car about. And then the car crashes behind him, the police car. He manages to I want you to stop eating donuts, you fat piece of shit. Safe haven is offered here by the Mayans. He shakes hands with Alvarez. He fucks off. The club come in. Right, Jack sits them all down, and then we get the table reveal. So Quintez have got a makeshift pull-out table with a chessboard on top of it. What is the point of the chessboard on top of it, by the way? Was Jack's revealing the fucking truth? Yeah, my mother killed Tara, and that's the reason everybody in the club's dead. And these two are playing a game of fucking checkers.
Well, I think Jax plays the chess, these guys play the checkers. But yeah, it just looked a bit poor, didn't it? But I get it, they're not in their clubhouse, so
It's makeshift, I understand.
it's just a bit weird having the two least important members at the bottom of the table fucking sitting beside it, sitting on top of a chessboard essentially. It was like, I could have just threw the chessboard aside, couldn't they? But
No, they could have, but they didn't. Jax reveals the truth. He says Gemma killed Tara. He's like, I apologise that, all this, the family I was given has hurt so much the family that I'd chosen. But you know what? I think you could argue Sam Crowe he was given as well. I mean, he kind of had no fucking choice in the matter.
he was born into the club, really, wasn't he?
Yeah, he says, you know what, I'm going to sit down with Indian Hills, I'm going to come clean, I'm going to admit it was Borowski, not Jury, and we're going to patch everything up with the Mayans, the Niners, etc., etc. And then Chibs was like, Jackie, we don't want you admitting that. And he's like, Chibs, no.
Nobody said, no one brought up the fact that Jack said Jury admitted it.
Yeah.
Now, I know...
I guess there's bigger fish to fry at this
Indian
point.
Hills VP does bring that up.
He does. Again, maybe that's what they're saving it for.
True.
I know, but say Quinn, Quintez, one of them, right? Say one of them turns around and says, well, sure, I thought you said Jury admitted it. Is Jack's not going to be like, oh, hold on here. We've just revealed that Gemma's killed Tara and everything we've done the past month and 2 months has been for fucking nothing. And that's your biggest problem here. I mean, I guess it's a valid point. I believe... Wait, was Quinn patched in? Was Quinn patched in to Indian Hills? I think he was,
Might have been, huh?
He's just killed his ex-fucking prez.
Maybe he should have. Well, he was the ex-prez, was he not?
Yeah. Well, his ex-prez, though.
Right, okay.
He was Nomad prez, he wasn't Indian Hills prez.
I wonder what his position would have been in Indian Hills then.
Boring bastard at the chess table. That might have been it. Anyway, this is checkmate because Nero joins the fray. Chibs kind of like gives Nero a fist pump, deflate it, depressed. He walks out. Jackson and Nero sit down. Nero's like, right, Jack, you can't kill your own mother. That's something that no man's going to come back from. And then Charlie Hunnam kind of breaks out the English accent. How could you do this to Tara? And then Nero hugs him. They greet. The episode ends as Gemma flees to Oregon.
Don't worry, Jax can kill anybody.
Aye, Nero,
He's got a lot of names under his belt. He can get one more, I'm sure.
Maybe it's time to honour Tara's wish. I got the farm, and you got city fucking... Oh, Jackson. Jackson's got double one. Anyway, what are you giving the episode out of 10?
I like this one. I'll get a 9.
I'll get a 10. I thought for Charlie Hunnam and Jimmy Smits and Theo Rossi, I think they all done a fantastic part in this episode to really put over the emotional side of it and all that stuff. And it ended, again, after... I mean, I don't think episode 10 was bad, but I think we've escaped the pastor's family and it's on to greater pastors, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Oh, hi.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Anyway, 9.5 out of 10. Till then, peace.